Hey, good morning. Today I have Bauer 6.5 amp, 3000 strokes per minute, variable speed, orbital jigsaw 1873E-B. Harbor freight number is 64290. Pretty heavy duty now. When I went to get this, they had two of these. This was $49 on sale with a coupon. The 20 off coupons don't work on Bauer, but occasionally they have a 10% off coupon. They have the corded version, and then they have the 20 volt cordless version. The cordless version is quite a bit smaller, and I actually plan to buy it also because portability is useful in some cases. This one I want it to full power because most of the time I use this in my workshop. So what does it look like? Nicely built tool, a little heavy, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to get the cordless version. I think it'll be a little lighter. So what options does it have? Well, it has a dust port adapter, and you put that in the back. This is what I call the big Chicago Electric dust collector. I think it's a 5-gallon. Bauer has come out with their own line of dust collectors, which is like 3. I call them dust collectors because that's what I use them for. They're actually shop vacs. But this is dust collector. So the hose does fit. So that's a plus. With the other Bauer tools that I've found, you need an adapter to connect the two. This one actually has that size. I like that. Big plus. I don't use dust collection when I'm doing these videos, but when I'm working with the tools, I actually do use dust collection. It's got a 6-foot cord. That's kind of standard on tools. They do that to prevent a tripping hazard, but in reality, the first thing you do is go get an extension cord. 6.5 amps is pretty powerful for a jigsaw, and that's why the body is so big on this, to accommodate that big motor. For the dust collection port, there's a way to turn it on and off. Push it backwards, it's open. Pull it forwards, it's closed. Has this guide. Very easily slide it in here, tighten these down. Has the capability of riding along a piece of wood. Now in reality, I normally don't use a jigsaw to cut a straight line. I have other saws that are much better at that. But there is a case where you could. It also has a feature that's kind of different. If you're cutting a straight line, you leave it here. If you want to do a circle, you do this, and there's varying degrees. There's 4 positions: straight line, total circle, less curve, less curve. And it varies the way that it does the stroke on the blade to make it better. It has a pretty standard on-off with a hold. Demonstrate that once we plug it in. Now it has the capability of doing an angle this way. So you pull the release on the bottom here, kind of pull it back a little. Okay, if you look close at this, you can see they have little slots there, and that's all of the degrees: 0, 15, 30, 45. So it's kind of versatile. It'll go 45 each way. You have to pull down on that to move it. It's a little awkward, but well worth having. So I'll put it to 90 because that's pretty much what I want. I like that. There's not much adjustment in there, but it's just a hold down. No big deal. Also has 6 speeds. 1 through 6. And it has a laser. Right here's the button. Turn it on and off. And it says manufacture date is October 2019. So let's plug it in. Make sure that's off. So let's try it. That's on 1. Won't even come on. Pretty noisy, and it says never adjust this while it's moving. A little bit quieter. I got a lot of light in the shop, but there is an on-off light right there. You can't see it right now. It's a little heavy, but it's 6.5 amps. If you want that power, you're going to get that weight. This was a big deal for me to buy because it uses the T-shank blades. My other jigsaws use straight blades. So it was a conversion for me. So I had to buy this little pack of blades. I want to see how it does before I go invest in a lot of blades. So I'm going to unplug it. So this turns up. You take that off. without too much trouble. Personally, I'm not going to take that off very often because I think it will shorten its life. And I like having the shield on there. So I'll use the bending out of the way method. I'm going to use wood fast. Now I'm going to make some cuts with this, but the quality of the cut a lot of times is more dependent on the blade than the saw. And I picked up Warrior blades. Probably should have picked up Bauer just to see how they would do. But this was a 5-pack for like $5, and they had maybe a 10-pack for about $15 of Bauer. So I went and got this just to try it out. Okay, this is a little tricky to get in. I'll try to show it. So what you do is you pre-stage the blade against the backer and in the slot, and then you pull this forward and that'll go in there. But that's not enough. You actually have to hold that back and press back just a little to get it down in there. And then you pull on it to make sure it's in there. Now, stay away from the sharp part. They advise you to use a glove. It's a little awkward in that you have to push this back to force this up, believe it or not. It's kind of strange. I'll cut with my left hand to show it better. Now that was on 6. Let's go down to 2. Got a lot of power. Now, using it left-handed, I tended to press that in with the palm of my hand. Right-handed, I would have control of that with my thumb. Try the curve feature. It says never adjust this while it's running. Let's go all the way. I'll try to cut a circle on this. Did really well, but let's compare that same cut to no circle. I can cut a circle almost as easily, but it is easier with this. And I thought that it looked like it was a rougher cut. See the difference in the cut. If I used a straight cut, get a smooth finish. If I use the Orbiter, I don't get near as good a finish, and it's because of the way it's stroking. So, plenty of power. Let's take the blade out. Should use a glove. Comes out very easily. Goes in a little bit harder. So you pull that forward and you push that in, and then you pull the blade back. So I think that there's a little bit of rebound in the mount so that it presses back against this. And because of that, you have to lever the mount out a little bit to get the lineup correct. And I like that it has this little pin here to kind of keep that from going into the blade. I don't know that it would, but I like the assurance that it won't. Now, I did have that unplugged, by the way. I'm going to use it, see how it holds up over time. My general impression of the Bauer corded tools is they're almost like a professional line. From Harbor Freight's viewpoint, they're like middle of the line. Chicago Electric's low end. Drill Master's even lower. Bauer's above the Chicago Electric, but below Hercules. But to me, the Bauer is made for somebody that's going to use a tool day after day. A little above the amateur. Which means if an amateur buys it, it'll last forever. But if a professional buys it, it's going to last. If you like the videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.